Hello and welcome back. We've got a really special interview. Charlie, do you want to introduce him?
We would like to welcome onto the podcast today the captain of the league-winning Leeds Knights. He is the top point scorer in the NIHL right now, and some call him the face of the NIHL. Welcome onto the podcast, Kieran Brown. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, we appreciate you hopping on. It's been a long time coming, but I think this is the perfect time to have you on. Congratulations, back-to-back league champions, captaining them again. How does that feel, Kieran?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I'm still recovering now from enjoying the moment, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's definitely special. To do it back to back, I think is pretty special as well. I think the second time's obviously harder because
Yeah,
everyone wants to beat the league champions. So every game was honestly a battle this year, but it makes it more fun, and I've definitely enjoyed it.
yeah. You said it was a harder season. You had the likes of Shudra, Hazeldine, Zajac, Brooks, all the imports changing around. Obviously, Witt's come back. But what
Yeah.
what was your mindset going into it, knowing you got quite a few new players and you've lost some of them key pieces and Barnes as well?
Yeah, we lost a lot of core guys, I guess you could say, from the team last year. But Ryan did a really good job at bringing in new guys. I didn't really know what to expect at the start, obviously, because it was quite a new team.
Yeah.
But I trusted obviously what Ryan does, and yeah, the team this year obviously was just as good. I think a lot of people doubted us at the start of last season,
Yeah.
start of this season, sorry. But I think we've proved a lot of people wrong this year. So yeah, it was fun.
Go on,
Yeah,
Charlie.
we both didn't predict you to win the league, so I'll shake your hand on that one. I see you and say fair play. How does it feel being captain of the league winners? Because your first year as captain, you obviously took them to the trophy as captain, and again you've done that. How does it feel being captain of the organisation at the moment?
It's great. Obviously, when Ryan gave me the captain, I'm still young. I was still young then, so I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't want to tell like the likes of Sam Zajac and the older guys like what to do because that's not me. But they helped me through being the captain, and yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job, and I think I've fit into that role a little bit better.
Mm.
The first year, I really had to change how I was playing and what I was doing off the ice because I was still trying to find my role. I guess the year before that, and everyone says the penalty minutes were right up there. But the past two seasons they've calmed down, and I'm trying to lead by example as best as I can. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job.
What was some of the stuff you worked on personally after winning the playoffs and the league last season, going into this season? What was some of the stuff which you really wanted to work on going into this season?
Um, Not too much. Kind of just stay the same. Stay level headed. You've won the league, but next year it's up for grabs by anyone.
Mm.
So just playing the same way every night. I think that's massive because if you're inconsistent, then sometimes it doesn't go your way. So I think that's a big thing that we tried to do this year. Was to just stay consistent, and no matter who you're playing, whether it's the top of the league, bottom of the league, just play the
Mm.
same way every night.
I know it's quite a generic question, but obviously you said the league standard has clearly gone up. You got the three import rule, which I'll ask you about in a second. But what has been the key to Leeds winning it this season? Because Swindon got stronger, Milton Keynes got stronger, but it just seems like you guys, home and away, just kept going through results, even if you weren't playing at your best.
Yeah, I mean that was the thing. It was literally just going to Solway on a Friday night. It's pretty tough, because some guys are working.
Yeah.
So what we decided was just play the same way wherever we're going. Just don't think about what it is, the situation. Get the
Mm.
bus legs out early and just play the same way of what we're practicing each week. Just do the same things.
Yeah.
And I think what Ryan's preached to us has really, really helped. I'm not going to give away his tactics, but the way that he's coached us this year,
Yeah.
honestly, is next level.
Mm-hmm. I think the coach definitely stands out. I just was checking. You are 4 points off matching last season's point record.
Oh,
What
really?
would you say is the key to your consistency level with the points at this level? Because you're 4 points off 1-2-1 again. Knowing you, you'll probably go top that. What is the consistency key for you?
Um, I mean, shoot the puck, I guess. No, I don't know. Just play hard. You know, like every game. Just like I said, no matter who you're playing, just play the same. Just do exactly what you would do against any other team. You know,
Yeah.
just don't take anyone lightly, and just play the same way. So you know, I like to shoot the puck and make plays, and that pays off with the points. So
Yeah. What did you make of the extra import rule this season? Obviously, Aldridge decided to go with McMullen. I think that's definitely paid off, especially with you guys losing Zajac and Hazeldean. But what did you initially make of that new import, the extra import?
yeah, I thought it was massive for the league. Like in the next step, I guess, to making it more professional. You know, the two imports was good, but the third one's made it even better. You know, because each team now has three imports. It makes it more challenging, I guess. And yeah, bringing in an import defenseman for us with losing some guys was massive. You know, Mully's he's a very skilled defenseman, and he's when he goes offense, he's got some skills, man.
Yeah. Matt Barron as well. He's been your line partner for most of the season. Talk us about him, because obviously you had Brooks come in last season. I think Matt's a different type of player to Brooks. Tell me if I'm wrong, but he seems like he's fitted. You and him have made quite a good partnership this season.
Yeah, he's not as gritty as Brooksy was, but he's a little bit older, so he's a little bit more level headed, and he's probably one of the smartest hockey players I've ever played with.
Wow.
You know, honestly, some of the plays he sees, I'm like, I don't even know how he saw me in most of the plays, but yeah, Matt he's very, very skilled and very smart, so it makes it much easier to play with.
Yeah.
How's it been being maybe in this new Leeds organization? Because obviously you played for the Steel Dogs, you played for the Steelers at times, but joining kind of a new team when they started as well as the Leeds Knights officially, how's it been kind of growing with the Knights as well?
You know, I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest, when I first came in. I'd been at the Steelers, obviously, not playing much there, but obviously practiced every day. And then I was at the Steel Dogs playing most of my game time. So I didn't really know what to expect to be signing full time at an NHL team. But Steve Nell called me straight away, and we got something sorted. And I've never looked back, really. You know, it's a special place, is Leeds. The city, the way you get treated by the team and the organisation, it's next level. Like I've not really heard much better things in other teams in this league. So, you know, coming into this organisation and just getting treated the way that I have been, it's been perfect. And that's the reason why I'm still here. Like, you know, people ask me all the time them questions, and then, you know, I don't want to be anywhere else, I'll be honest right now.
Yeah. Let's go back right to the start then. So what actually got you into ice hockey? Because obviously hockey's not the biggest sport in the UK, but what was it that got you into ice hockey, and what age did you start playing at?
I started at about 2 or 3 years old. My dad's got the ice rink in Bradford.
Okay.
So, you know, I literally grew up in the ice rink, you know, all school holidays, and when we went to schools on the ice, we'd section like a bit of the ice off, and I would just skate all day. My cousin is the backup goalie, Harrison. So we just grew up just, you know, he was a goalie, I was a player. You know, it was a lot of fun growing up, just shooting pucks at him. And then when I played my career in Bradford till I was 13, and then I got asked to go to play in America, in a place called Iowa.
Yep.
And I just played AAA U14 there till U16, and then I've come back for the summer after my U16 year. And I guess the Steelers called and asked me to go for a meeting. I went there, and then I ended up signing there, and then did my years there, and then now I'm in Leeds.
And you played, obviously, you scored your first goal for the Steelers. How was that actually, getting your first goal in the Elite League?
Yeah, that was special. Yeah, it was probably one of the best goals I've ever scored, if I'm being honest. I just remember being on the power play with Ben O'Connor, Kirky, and yeah, it was crazy.
And obviously you were on that were you on a two-way with Blackburn at the time? You got 40 points with Blackburn. What was kind of going through your head? Obviously playing with the Steelers, and then you went to the Steel Dogs after as well. Did you kind of have a plan when you were younger, or were you just going with the flow?
So when I signed at the Steelers, the EPL just folded. So
Okay.
the leagues were like there wasn't an NIHL, it was just NIHL one, and then
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like to Telford, Sheffield Steel Dogs. Who
Hull.
else was in it? I can't remember. It was just like one league basically. There
yeah,
wasn't a this league. So Stephen Duncombe was the coach at Blackburn, and he'd played for the Steelers. So
Mm.
I guess there was some connection there because the Steelers didn't. I don't think they had like anything to do with the Steelers at that point.
Mm.
So I just kind of got sent there, played there, and then then the Steelers kind of started to get a deal with the Steelers the year after.
Yeah.
So then that's why I ended up playing for the Steel Dogs. They kind of sent me there, and that's why I ended up playing there.
Yeah.
How was it adapting between kind of playing in National One and then Elite League? Because the gap was quite big. I remember the National One League. And how was it as a 16, 17-year-old adapting to that?
Yeah, it was tough, I'll be honest, because there wasn't much systems in the NHL one. It was kind of a free for all, I guess. So then going from that and just kind of being able to do what you want to going to this, training with the Steelers and playing the odd games. It was a massive jump. It was really tough, but you kind of just adapt to it. And playing systems makes the game so much easier because you know where you're supposed to be when the play is happening. So
Yeah.
it was actually quite easy to adapt to the systems that they were playing. But it was tough. Like obviously the level is massive.
Yeah. How was it getting called up to your first under-20s GB squad as well, back in 2019? I think you played for the 18s that season as well, and you scored some good points in that tournament as well. So how was that representing your country for the first time?
Yeah, it was cool. I played under 16s and then the 18s.
Yeah.
And then my last year of 18s, we were the year before that. Sorry, we got promoted up. We got gold, so we got promoted. So we were in like a really good division. I can't remember what division it is. I think it's 1B or something like that. So it was like Austria, and we were playing against good teams. And I don't remember if it was this close, but if we'd have beaten a certain team, we would have got gold. But we ended up losing, and we ended up getting relegated. I don't know if that's true, but it was tough. But actually playing for your country, obviously, it's a huge honor. So that was great. But the trips it's more than just the hockey. Honestly, the players that you play with, they're like kind of friends for life because half the players are in the NHL now or the Elite League. So you're a pretty close group. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Go on, Charlie.
Yeah. Have you got any memories or moments from your kind of under 18 career which stood out to you? Have you got like a memory from America or something which people would love to hear?
I've got plenty of stories, but I definitely can't be telling any of them. But ones that stand out, I don't really have any that stand out, to be honest, because when I was 18, I was at the Steelers, so I wasn't really being a child. I was trying to grow up when I was there. And I definitely can't tell some of the stories because I'd be getting in trouble.
What was it like scoring the GB goals then? What was it like getting the goals for GB, being on the power play, etc.?
It was great fun, getting put in them positions, but playing for your country is a huge honor. And when you're scoring them goals, it feels, it's weird, but it definitely feels different scoring for your country than it does scoring for like your local team or your club team, I guess.
In the 2019-20 season, obviously you signed for Sheffield. You got 34 points in 19 games with the Steelers as well. Then you got that big injury. How was that in your career? And obviously being so young, getting a big injury. What was the specific injury you got?
So I got hit in Basingstoke to make it even better. And then I dislocated my wrist, but then when I did that, I snapped ligaments in my wrist as well. So then I had to get surgery like that evening. They put me straight. Oh no, sorry, the next day, but they kept me in, and I had to have surgery, and I had to do. I was out for a long time, and I had rehab for a long time, and then after the surgery, the specialist, I guess, he actually said like, "There's a chance that you're never going to play again," and I was like, honestly, like that killed me because hockey is like my life. Like I literally live and breathe hockey, so that was pretty tough to hear, but the rehab went really well, and yeah, I came back actually for one game against the Milton Keynes before COVID. So I played on that Saturday, scored with like, I don't know what it was, like 2 minutes in. We played that game. I think we lost like 10-1. And then the next day I got a phone call and they were like, yeah, the league's done. Like we're going into lockdown and that's that. And then that was it. Like I didn't play again. Then I went to lockdown, but I was very fortunate because my dad's got the rink and I was getting paid I was getting paid to check on the rink because he was furloughed. I was getting paid to check on the rink, and I might have put my skates on a few times. And
I remember the weekly Kieran Brown story. Picture of the skates and the hockey stick. That was the lockdown story I remember.
Honestly, lockdown was probably, like, looking back, the best time of my life. Like we would we would play Xbox till 5 a.m. I would sleep and then I would go to the rink and check on the rink, maybe get a little workout, and then do the same thing again. But you know, it was tough because we didn't know what was going on. We didn't know when we were going to be back playing hockey. So I found that really tough.
How did you? You obviously said that the doctor said you might not be able to play again. Obviously, you would have been shocked at that news. But did that almost make you want to play even more in a way, and make you determined to come back and prove them wrong in a way?
Yeah, definitely. Because as soon as he said that, like my grandma's a doctor, so I was telling her, I was like, no way, there's no way. And she was saying basically they've got to tell you the worst outcome because if it did happen, then they've told you it, I guess. So as soon as he said that, I was like, there's no chance that I'm not playing again. So the rehab that we were doing, I was just like really smashing it out. And yeah, I actually think that this hand is stronger than the other one now. So it's weird.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And go on, Charlie.
When you were injured, well, when you hit lockdown, when you were skating on the ice, was it a bit like playing NHL free skate when you were just going around being a lad?
Yeah, it was. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be telling that I was skating in lockdown, but I guess it's done now.
Yes.
But yeah, it was so fun, honestly, just skating by myself. I literally just put the music on the ice and I was just ripping around, and it was so much fun.
How did the move then? Obviously, you had the lockdown. How did the move come about to Leeds then? Because obviously they were the Chiefs. They had that season where they were just all over the place while they were waiting for their rink. What was the reason that you signed for Leeds? And who was it that kind of signed you for the organisation?
So originally I had a 2-year contract with the Steelers, and then it was the second year that was going to happen. And after lockdown I had so much time to kind of think about like my career and like what I want to actually do. So I decided that I was going to leave. So I went in and just basically told them what the deal was, and they were really good about it. They like obviously wanted to leave on good terms. It was really easy. So that happened, and then Sam Zajac was the player coach for the Chiefs at that time. So I actually signed a contract. I signed a contract for the Chiefs with Sam Zajac at the time. And then the week after, they were like, he called me. He's like, "Yeah, the team's been sold." And I was like, "Oh, great." But then Steve called me literally the day after. He's like, "Okay, I want you to sign." It wasn't the Knights then. They didn't even have a name, I don't think then.
No, they hadn't thought of one yet.
No, I can't remember what the other options were, but I think some of them were terrible. So I'm glad it's the Knights. But then Steve called, and that was literally it. Steve called me and I signed a contract, and I've never left.
And obviously, that first season with the Knights, I remember you didn't have an import, and you boys, it was quite a young team. I know it's a young team now, but it was a young team. You had, I think it was Brandon Whistle, all the OGs, Barnes as well. And you got to that cup final against Swindon, and you narrowly just lost it. But I think that was the start of when everyone was like, okay, this team is special. They're doing this and they haven't even got an import on their roster.
Yeah, that was my thought process as well. You know, that first year we were obviously very young and we didn't have any imports. I don't know if Whistle's classed as an import in this league. I don't really know
No, he
how that
wasn't.
works.
He wasn't.
No, he was a Brit. So yeah, and then when we got to that final, and I think we finished fourth that year. I could be wrong. And I got a really good idea of what's going on in that organization. And I was just like, this is going to be somewhere special.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's the first year and they've already done pretty well. Like, we got to the final and finished fourth. So I was just thinking, like, this is going to be somewhere special, and I definitely want to stick around.
You got 100 points that season as well. You also got 111 penalty minutes, so that's quite impressive. Did you it's a harsh question. Did you expect to get that many points after having such a big injury, or did you know you were going to be on that top level after coming back because of the work you put in lockdown?
Yeah, exactly. I obviously didn't know I was going to put up that many points, but I definitely wanted to put up them points because after I'd left the Steelers, you know, I felt like I had a point to prove. Like I wanted to prove what I'm worth, I guess, because I just signed in Leeds and I basically just wanted to prove what I am worth. Like I wanted to earn a contract because I hadn't really done that yet. I'd never played a full year professionally in a league and that like where you're actually playing. So I wanted to do that year, and you know when I put up the points, I was like, right, okay, next year I want to do better. Like I want to keep earning my contracts. Like I don't just want to be given them.
Yeah, exactly that. And then obviously the next season you signed. I think it was Aldridge on a term, wasn't it? It wasn't. He was originally only meant to come in for a few weeks, and then he signed permanently. How buzzing were you when Aldridge signed that full contract? Because he's just been a revelation for Leeds.
Yeah, he came in. I think he was only supposed to come in for like the 3 months or whatever was left of the season. And I knew of him. I didn't really know him personally. And then when he came in, obviously I got to know him really well, and we built a great friendship over them couple of months. And then he decided he wasn't coming back, and I just signed back, and I was like, oh, great. And then the next thing he's like, oh, I am coming back, and then he signed the contract. Excuse me. And then so I was pumped, I was excited. So basically I was just like, if you're coming back, I'm coming back. And he was like, cool. And then I signed, and then he was like, I'm not coming back. I was like, oh, thanks, mate. But yeah, that all worked out perfect, and here we are.
Yeah.
The duo I think me and Jack remember from your first year was you and Adam Barnes.
Yes.
And I believe you're very good friends, etc. What's it like with Adam, and what a legend he is as well?
Yeah, he is a legend. You know, he had a tough time last year, and he's taken like the step down to the league below. You know, because he had to look at life a bit bigger. You know, he's got a house now, and he's got like a family now. He's got a girlfriend and stuff. So he stepped down, and I think he's ripping up that league. The NHL one.
To be fair.
Yeah. But me and Barnesy, we grew up together. You know, we played together since we were really young, and we always had this connection when we were playing on the ice. So you know, getting to play for Leeds with him was special. And I think it was me before that. Last year at the start, it was me, Barnesy, and Matty Haywood, and that it was unreal, man. It was just like, wow, we're playing with Matt Haywood, and like we were just getting all these points, and it was so much fun. But yeah, definitely miss having Barnesy on the team.
Yeah. Go on, Charlie.
Another player I love, I actually debatably said he was better than you at the start of the year, is Macca Howler. I'm only ever honest. How good of an addition was he midway through the season last year?
Oh, he was massive. You know, he came in from the elite league, and he also had a point to prove, I think, to show what he's really worth and what he's about. And he came in and he took the piss. You know, his speed is an absolute joke. His speed is an absolute joke, and he's got everything else to back it up as well. You know, some people don't like him, and you can see it when we're playing against him. But you know, I won't like a guy flying around like he does either. So fair play to him.
What do you think the key to the success was last season, and in the playoffs? And I'll go into it on the playoffs because that was some weekend. I think we spoke to Ollie, and he actually said that you guys weren't on your best performance, but you still managed to get through it. And Raiders was so close. But how did you find that playoffs? Because that was the first time I think Leeds got to the playoffs, and you guys won it.
Yeah, it was tough, honestly. You know, playoff hockey is, you can't really explain it. Like it's just not the same. It's totally different. It's like a next level. You know, everyone's putting the body on the line and
Yeah,
finishing hits, and you know it's draining. So you know anyone can really win it. I think, you know,
yeah,
the final was London.
yeah.
And then what was it, Telford? So you know them two games were quite high scoring and really hard games. But yeah, like Ollie said, we definitely weren't on top form that weekend. But I just think, you know, good teams find a way to win. So it might not be all your top guys scoring goals, but them guys might have been blocking shots and doing the little things right, which ends up winning you a championship. So, but that was a lot of fun. That was my first time in Coventry. I'd been the year before to collect an award, but playing in it, wow. That you definitely want to be in Coventry at the end because that was special.
In front of all the fans as well, and I think you scored in the final against Romford. I remember you were 1-on-1 and you just sniped it.
Yeah, it's definitely a place you want to be at the end of the year because, you know, if you can win it, it just tops off, like, you know, going into summer. You know, it's just a nice feeling going into the summer after winning in Coventry.
Yeah. Shall we go on to Aldridge, Charlie? Try and sum up Aldridge as a coach, and how he's made you the player you are and letting you off your leash and stuff like that. Just speak to us about Aldridge.
He's a very special character. I would say he's had probably the biggest influence on my career that anyone's had.
Wow.
He came in and, you know, he's not afraid. We built this friendship where he's not afraid to let me know. You know, I feel like some people kind of don't tell me. Like maybe some players don't tell me when I've done something wrong because they're a little bit scared. But Ryan, he don't give a shit. Like he'll let me know. But then after, we'll be fine. Like we'll move on. Like it's just a game, so we'll move on. But yeah, he's a very special coach. He gets like the best out of every player because he is like really serious at times, but at other times he's like your best friend. Like you want to play for him because of the person he is.
Yeah.
So he's a massive part of this organization.
And he always seems to sign the right players, like Bo Neely coming in, Jordan Boysa. We didn't even mention him actually, who's been playing with you and Barron this season. Like he always just seems to sign the perfect players, and they just fit in like a glove.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to be like the closest bonded team, and you're the youngest team in the league as well. So, do you think that helps that he coached obviously at OHA with some of the younger players, and how he can coach this young Leeds team as well?
Yeah, definitely. The friendship obviously he's got with Bailey and Ollie and Bo, because obviously they played together when they were at OHA. That's good. He's got that friendship, and you know he's got that friendship with all of us as well now. But the one thing that I would say why he's good at picking these players is he don't always go for. This is not saying that they're not good players, but I'm saying he goes for like character, like the real person first. Because if you bring a guy in who's a good player but a bad person, it's going to ruin the team. So he brings these people in who are really good people, and the team just comes together, and you know it builds championship teams.
100%.
I was going to ask, what's changed defensively for Leeds this year? Because last year I think your offense and like really just overpowered any team you kind of played. It showed in playoffs. But this year I think you won the championship of your defense, and obviously scoring goals is important. What's changed in the defensive structure of Leeds this year?
I think we're more structured. I think we are definitely better defensively than we were last year. But yeah, I think we're more structured. You know, in practice we're going through like each week we'll do video on teams, and we'll look at where their weaknesses are, and we'll practice some drills on like set plays that we're going to do. And I think that's played a massive part in the games. Going into them, we know exactly what we're doing. We're all on the same page. So I think Ryan's coaching this year again has made us better defensively.
Yeah. And that leads us nicely on to Sam Gospel. How nice is it to have Sam Gospel in your net? He is by a country mile the best keeper in this league.
Average.
What's that, Charlie?
Only an average goalie,
But how is it having Sammy to rely on at the back?
Yeah, he's a freak. He's so good. Bless him, he's just had a little baby. So he was out for the 2 weekends ago against you boys. And Harrison played well.
Yep.
But yes, Sam Gospel, he's a special person as well. He's obviously a very, very good goalie. In my opinion as well, he's the best goalie in the league. He can put the team on his back and carry it to a win. You can rely on Sam. But off the ice, he's such a good person. Like he's so funny. Like him and Harrison have this like really good friendship, and like they'll chirp each other. Like if one of them lets a bad goal in, like they'll be the first person to let each other know. And I think that's why we do so well, because we're just no one's afraid to say anything. Like them two just chirp each other, and I think that helps, because I think if you're like thinking, oh, that was a bad goal. Whereas if they just tell you and it's just funny, you make a joke out of it, like you're not thinking about it and you just move on. So, but yeah, gospel is gospel.
Yeah, you see, obviously, Emily, she gets all the videos behind the scenes and she captures all those little pranks that Harrison plays and all the stuff after. That just speaks volumes on just how much you enjoy it as a team as well, that you're able to joke around with each other. Like last night at the signings, you had everyone just drawing each other's necks. Like it's serious when it comes to the game, but you guys can also be unserious at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we do so well, because if you're not enjoying it and having fun, then why do it? That's what I think. So yeah, we when it's not serious, like we can have a good laugh and have a joke, and Ollie and Bailey can be childish like they are, but when it comes to the game time, we're all dialed in and ready to go and ready to play.
Yeah, go on, Charlie.
I've got to ask this. Why did you have to go do the Michigan against us? Oh my days. I'd had enough by that point. I'd already had to be through that once. I set out it. I already had to go through the Michigan once. I watched Rory Herman do it at the other end, but this time I had it right in front of me when I thought we were in with a chance of the game, and then why the Michigan, man?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Not acceptable.
Honestly, I don't know. I can't explain it. It just happens. It's kind of a cocky move. I think. Like I genuinely mean this. I don't like to do it. I don't do it with intention to think. Fuck you. But in the moment, I was given a lot of time, a lot of space.
You had the space of so much.
Yeah.
Space.
So as soon as I was coming around the net, I hadn't scored at that point. I just thought, why not? And it worked, and it's pretty cool. But I'm not one to try it every single game, because it's not. I don't know. I don't really like it. But if you pull it off once or twice, then
do you not think it's? I said this to Charlie and my dad. Do you not think it's a quick and easy way though to just drag it quickly round the net and catch the keeper out? Because I know it's classed as a really good skill, but is it not easier to just quickly do the Michigan if you're capable of doing it and getting it quickly in the post, rather than having to come round and maybe find someone in the slot? Or is it much harder than it actually looks?
No, not to be cocky, but like genuinely, if you practice it enough, it's easy. Like you're just picking it up and throwing it in the net. Like if you practice it enough at speed, you can get it every time.
Yeah.
But like it's happened in the NHL like a lot. Like I think it's becoming like, like the through the legs goal that people do. Like that's kind of like not that cool anymore. So I think that this is like the next cool thing. Like everyone's going to be doing it.
Yeah.
It's happened quite a lot in the NHL, but
Yeah.
Now you got to do it at Coventry in front of everyone.
No, you're banned from doing the Michigan. Sick of seeing that goal. I've got a question. You don't have to answer. Is there any players who don't play for the Leeds Knights who you just think are some of the best players in this league?
yeah. Malazinski.
Oh,
Wow.
Kieran Brown, you're my favourite player from another team in the league.
Yeah, not even because I'm on the podcast with you boys. Like genuinely, when I play against Malazinski, or if I ever watch him play from on the bench, like he's disgusting. Like no one, I don't think people see the little things that he does. Like he's one of the smartest hockey players that I've ever watched. Like some of the stuff he does, I'm just thinking like, how are you even thinking about doing that? And like he's got the skill, he's got the size, he's got the shot, he's got everything. So I think he's one of the best players in this league. Like he's a joke.
And on the flip side, you probably don't, because you when you're playing against any team, you don't really look scared of any players. But are there any defenseman in the league which you know is going to give you a pretty tough game today?
I would say Bouma and Hull.
Yeah.
You know, he's a big body. He's obviously a very good defenseman, and you know he plays pretty gritty. He's a really good player. So
yeah.
I think that he always gives a good game. Like we have a good battle. Like it's always fun. It makes the game way more fun. Like you know if you're battling hard and at the end you can just shake hands and be men. I think that's fun. But when the battles are not, when you're not competing, like I just don't like that. And then you end up getting hit from behind and stuff. I just don't like that. But when the battles are, battles are fun.
Yeah. Have you got an NHL team you support? And can we get your Stanley Cup playoff prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Rangers fan.
Ooh.
Only because they're the team that when I was younger I went to watch, and then when I lived in America I went to watch them a few times as well.
Yeah.
But the Stanley Cup, oh God, I don't know. I'd love to see Toronto win.
Oh yeah.
I would love to see them win. They're not going to win, but I would love to see it.
Have you got some favourite players from the NHL for our NHL fans out there?
Is there any NHL players who you actually watch and try and learn some stuff of, or especially when you were younger?
Well, when I was younger, I really liked Pavel Datsyuk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was I love the stuff that he does, like his shootout moves and that were crazy. I loved him when I was younger, but now I love Jack Hughes. I love how he plays. He's one of my favorite players, and he's the same birth year as me, so
yeah,
I like watching him play.
I want to bring this up. The state of the way the league's going now, it's definitely turned more skill based than maybe a bit more physical in previous years. Do you like the direction which the league is going with the amount of skilled guys which are coming up? Obviously the games are still physical, but do you like the direction which the league is going? And you're seeing a lot of talented players in this league now.
Yeah, I like how it's going. I think it's got the right amount of like physical play in it. You know, there's not like massive, huge hits like every single shift, but you know, people are finishing the hits and playing hard. But like I think it's way more fun watching the skill. Like the skill that's coming through and the skill in this league's like it's good. So you know, like when you're watching the Elite League, some of it's kind of obviously they play a lot more systems, so it's kind of a lot of dump and chase. And I don't think it's as fun to watch as a fan. But to play in, it's really fun. You know, the skill in this league is definitely getting better, and some of the players that teams are bringing in are so skilled.
And on to that, how do you see the league? Obviously, you've signed with Leeds again. Pardon me. How do you see the league going in the next couple seasons? And is there possibly any stuff you'd like to see introduced which you think would improve the league even more?
Yeah, I'd like to see. I only watched the EPL a little bit back when I was younger. I can only watch a few games, but I remember like it was 5 imports.
Yeah.
And I thought that was good. Like I think 5 imports is like really good because you can still have a good amount of number of Brits.
Yeah.
And then you got 5 5 imports. Sorry. I think that would, like, eventually in the long run, I think that would make this league like a very, very good league. It's already a good league, but I think 5. I think, or maybe even 4. Maybe
4,
one more import. And I'd like to see not saying the goalies are not good, but like I'd like to see a few import goalies. I think that'd make it more interesting as well.
To challenge you a bit more.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that, but I'd just like to see some more import goalies.
No, I'm joking. Everyone who I've spoke to about you, Kieran, has said you are genuinely the most humble player they've ever played with. Do you think that's actually been a massive reason for your success in this league, that you can actually be really critical on yourself as well?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say my dad's the worst one for it because, after a game, like, he'll let me know. Like, even if I don't know, I could have scored 2 goals and we won and we had a good game, but he's the first person to like let me know.
Yeah.
Like, this was not good. Like, this is not good enough, and I think that's helped me be the humble person that I am because I don't know. I just don't like to. I don't take praise very well, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to just be, like you said, humble and just play and I just genuinely just enjoy the hockey. I just love the game, so I don't take I don't take it very well. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yes.
But yeah. Like you said, I just try to stay humble and just get on with just do my job and that's it and just have fun. Like, I just enjoy the game. So
I think that's the perfect mentality. Go on, Charlie.
We see this a lot on Twitter, talking about Kieran Brown's maybe too good for this league. He should be in the elite league. And I think it's important to let you answer, why do you want to play in the National League? And have you got ambitions in the future to go into other leagues?
Yeah. I've got to be careful how I answer this because people will jump on my back. I know that. But I want to play in this league because I get put in every situation possible. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've got to earn money to make a living. Like, you got to earn money to live. Like, that's the world we live in. And just like I'm a loyal person. Like, if I talk to Steve and I'm telling him these things, like, I'm not going to go back on what I've said. And even if I've not signed a contract, if I shook his hand and spoke to him, I'm not going to go back on that. So I'm a loyal person. But yeah, I definitely do have ambition. Like, I do want to go back to the elite league eventually. I do. So I've done 3 years now. I'll sign back for 1 more. Like, I do want to go back, but I wanted to turn myself into a professional, like a real professional, and like not a dump and chase 4th line professional, like a skilled professional. I wanted to turn myself into that player and make myself that professional before I really went back and gave it a good go. So, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing right now, and if I get the right offer and it sounds like the right play for me, then I will take it. I will do it. Like, I'm not doing it because I think I'm too good for this league or whatever. Like, that's not true at all. Like, I'm here because I want to be here and I want to get better. And I just didn't think what I was doing was making me a better player. And I was kind of falling out of love for the game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like, that was the main thing for me because I lived and breathed hockey. And when I started to question hockey at that point, I was like, okay, I need to change something. So I thought this was the right move. So yeah, definitely want to go back eventually when I'm ready.
I think
you've to have you in the National League.
We're so happy to have you, and I think you've answered that really well. And I'm guessing as well, then you're only 23 years old. That's the ridiculous thing about it. You've had a bit of action in the GB under-20s. You got called up this year as well, but do you have aspirations as well to eventually get called up to GB? Because we have no doubts that you're good enough.
Yeah, obviously that's the dream, to play for your country in the top division, like with the men's team. Sorry.
Yeah.
You obviously play when you're under 16, 18s, but like making the men's teams like the biggest one, obviously. So that is the dream and the goal. So, if I just want to keep working what I'm doing and hopefully get that step up, and then hopefully make that step up to the GB team. That would be a dream come true.
Nice one.
100%.
I've got this one last question as well about future and stuff. And I don't know if you thought that far ahead. We mentioned it on an episode a couple ago. Obviously, you played in America. I wanted to ask about Kirk in a minute, but obviously Kirky's gone over to Czech Republic. Do you have any dreams of playing abroad in European hockey? Because it's a very different style of hockey to the UK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is something that I have thought about. You know, I think I'd like to travel, you know, a little bit with my girlfriend and play in a different country. You know, I think that'd be quite fun and cool to do with my life. I've not had obviously you get offers and stuff, but I've not had the right one that I've thought yet. But you know, never say never. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool to go into a different country and play. But like I said, I'm a loyal person, so
yeah,
it's gonna be pretty tough for me to leave Leeds. I'll be brutally honest.
Well, let's go on to the fan base of Leeds. We haven't mentioned them yet. They've just grown and grown and grown. They are unbelievable. Sum up how you've seen the fans evolve throughout your years at Leeds.
Yeah, when I first signed for Leeds, it was still busy. We were still getting, I'm not sure, 800, 900 fans, but it was pretty empty in that rink because obviously it's a big rink. Rink. But you know, over the past few years, it's really, really grown, and you know, Leeds is a massive sporting city. So people just tell people, spread of the word, and you know, we've been selling out now, almost, well, not every game, but we've been selling out quite a lot this year, and you know, the fans just make the game way more exciting, you know, when they're cheering and stuff, and it makes it way more exciting. So, you know, I think Leeds is definitely going in the right direction.
Yeah.
Have you got a message for younger aspiring ice hockey players out there? Because I know there's going to be a lot of maybe young Leeds Knights fans or just young NIHL fans who are playing hockey right now. What's your message to them to hit high goals in the ice hockey in England?
I don't really watch too much junior hockey. Obviously, I'm busy with my own hockey, so I don't really know how that's going now. But I would just say, you know, just keep playing, keep training. Sorry, you know, you've got to do the little things that nobody sees to really get to that next level, I think. But you know, the main part of it is just have fun, man. You don't really see life how I guess I see it now because I'm a bit older. But just genuinely, just enjoy it. Every time you step on the ice, just enjoy it. And you know, if you do get to that stage where you can get paid to play, and that is the dream, then you know that's a bonus. But just enjoy your hockey. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And it seems like you're really enjoying it at the Knights. And Kirky, then obviously you've played with Liam, you've grown up with him. He was at the Steelers as well. He is absolutely tearing it up in this playoffs. I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on in the Czech Republic. His team has just gone through in Game 5, and he got the equalising goal. He's got 9 goals in 8 games. What's he like as a player, and how special is it for GB to have him? Because he's just unreal.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. You know, he's doing really well in the Czech Republic. I did see that actually when I last looked. I think he had 8 goals in 7 games or whatever. But yeah, he's next level. I remember when he obviously got drafted and stuff, and then we went into lockdown, and it was Swindon, Telford.
Oh man, he was a terror in that league.
Yeah,
Raiders and MK and Sheffield. Sorry,
I don't think MK wasn't in the one that I was.
Oh no,
Telford.
Telford, Oh yeah, you were at Telford. I remember that.
Yeah, me and Shudra went to Telford. We were living in the Premier Inn.
Premier Inn.
But yeah, I remember obviously, I knew how good he was. I played him at Sheffield, and I knew he was special. But I hadn't seen him since he'd been over there and skating with real professional NHL players. And I played against him, and I remember chasing him down the ice, and I was like, right, I'm going to kill him here. And he just stopped. And I remember trying to stop, and I almost broke my ankle. And I'm like, how did he stop that quick, going that fast? I couldn't get my head around it. And then to get 4 goals, and I was just like, okay, he's a joke. What is he doing?
He scored 3 goals a game in that tournament. It was he scored 5 goals in 1 game against Swindon. I think they won 6-5.
He made it look like a rec league, didn't he? The way he played in it.
He did. He did. That's when you realise just how good they are over there, because
Yeah.
obviously he was a good player anyway, but he's been training with them and stuff, and then he comes back and you just see what player he is now. Yeah, it's good to see. I'm really happy for him, and I think he'll eventually one day come back to the UK and he'll be a Steeler again.
Hopefully, when he's probably 39, he's done it all.
Have you got a goal
Yeah.
for the playoffs? You've got one thing left.
What's that? Sorry.
I can imagine. Right now, you've got one thing left on your mind for the season. What's the mentality in the dressing room? How are you going to prepare? We obviously know the fixtures now. It's getting close, and it's in my opinion, the funnest time of the season. Maybe not as a Swindon fan, but normally it's the funnest time of the season.
Yeah. I think it's after obviously we won the league last week and we've played these games this weekend, and then we got next weekend. It's pretty tough, to stay motivated, I think.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got to look at it as prep for playoffs, like you said. Going into playoffs, it's a totally different level of hockey. It's just different hockey. So we just got to, obviously we've got practice this week and next week, and we'll just do the same thing, and we'll obviously do video on the teams that we're playing. And I think we'll change some things up because it's obviously playoffs, so it's going to be totally different. But I think we just need to get really dialed in and get ready for playoffs, because it's going to be hard.
I'll ask you this: do you prefer this format which they're doing this year, where it's 6 games, or do you prefer where it's just you against another team to get to Coventry?
I prefer the new
Really?
situation.
Nice.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think last year, no disrespect to Basingstoke, but we played them in the first game and it was
11-1,
11-2 or something.
11-2,
Yeah.
Something like that. And that it just didn't feel like playoffs. We had to go to Basingstoke down the Sunday, 11-2 up. We kind of knew we were going to Coventry, and I just think that this format's way more fun, and it's more challenging, and it feels like a real playoffs. You've got to really battle to get through to that Coventry final.
Yeah, 100%. We're coming to the end. It's nearly 7 o'clock. Charlie always ends with this question. I'm sure the Leeds Knights fans will be happy with this one. Go on, Charlie.
What's your message as the captain of the Leeds Knights to your fans?
I just want to say thank you very much for all your support. We obviously couldn't do it without you. You're literally the 6th player on that ice when we're playing. The noise that you make in the arena, it really does have an effect on how we play. So thank you for that, and I'll see you next weekend.
Thank you very much, Kieran. I forgot to mention as well, you were the Yorkshire Player of the Year. How did that feel quickly? Obviously being, I think that was huge for hockey as well, actually.
Yeah, it was cool. I didn't really know much about it. I literally got told the start of the week, and then they was telling us to put it on social media and stuff, and we put it on, and then I think by the weekend it obviously got picked, and yeah, I got chosen. So that was pretty cool. I don't really know what happens. I don't know if it's just gets put on social media or what, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool for the sport and for Leeds as well.
Nice one. Kieran, thank you very much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Good luck going into playoffs. It looks like, you're 5 points ahead at the moment in the point scoring race. So if you can keep up this weekend, it looks like you get that top point score again. So we appreciate you hopping on. And yeah, we'll see you at Coventry.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
See ya. Thank you.
See ya.